What's up guys, this is Automotive Anonymous, and what I like to do is car reviews, 0 to 60s and stuff like that. The car in question today is a 2023 Subaru Legacy Sport. It was generously borrowed by the brand new owner, and it came from Twin Falls Subaru in Southern Idaho. I'll link it below. They're good people to work with if you're in the market for one. Otherwise, we're gonna go through the specs, a walk around, 0 to 60, initial driving impressions, final thoughts to see if it's worth your time and money. And while I have your attention, if you guys are interested in this type of review, please show your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. For those of you who already do, I really appreciate you guys. Otherwise, let's get right into it. The Legacy Sport, this is the 7th gen. They started in 2020. The front half probably looks familiar if you watch my stuff, because the front half is what the Outback is based off of. This is just the sedan version. Subaru sells 20,000 to 65,000 of these a year in the US, with the numbers decreasing in recent years as the Outbacks have gained more popularity. The base model would start at about 24,000, but the Sport starts at about 34,000. And with destination, it's about 35, as this one would show on MSRP. The Sport is the second highest trim level, just under the Touring XT, which has a few higher features, more creature comforts, but this one is pretty darn loaded. It gets 23 city, 31 highway with an 18.5 gallon tank, similar to the Outback. That's 570 on the highway. Not bad. 5.9 inches of ground clearance. So about 3 inches less than the standard Outback, but it feels very planted and very capable on the road. They weigh 3,500 to 3,800 pounds depending on how they're loaded, which just so happens to be about the same as 2 dairy cows. Speaking of cows, with the turbo, this thing's gonna be mooing. It does really well, as you'll see in that 0 to 60 with GPS. It has Yokohama AWD GT tires. They are wrapped, it's a 225/50/18 with the 18-inch dark gray wheel that looks very good. It matches the spoiler on the rear end. And overall, they're about 16 feet long, 6 feet wide, and 5 feet tall. With the Sport, you do get the heated steering wheel and the pin code button, which I'll show you soon. And then it does have an updated front end. But let's get inside, let's get out of the wind. Inside the Legacy, it looks very familiar because that's the same door panel you've seen in a dozen of my other videos about the Outback. You have enough room for a shampoo, conditioner, and then 2 bars of soap. You have all the controls right there and a nice meaty handle. Nothing on the door sill plate other than a baby-sized Subaru on the plastic. Rubber pedal, aluminum pedals, fuse box, hood release, some seats, 10-way adjustable, and they look really good with that red stitching from Michaels that follows the trim throughout. Firing it up. The steering wheel looks great. It has the updated design with the speaker volume here, no more little paddles right there. Instead, you get the toggle switch right here to go through its infotainment settings. Very nice. Horn sounds good. Got the paddles hiding on the back, so if you want to drop that sucker down to manual mode, you can have some fun. Otherwise, you get the same 11.6 inch screen that you've seen on a lot of the other Subaru updated products. You have the updated HVAC at the bottom, which I do really appreciate, but you still have to turn off auto start stop if you don't appreciate that feature. This one doesn't have the wireless charging in it, so you have a nice deep pocket, USB, USB aux, electronic parking brake, 2 nice deep cup holders, and then you got the 2-way center console. You can hide some receipts, some recipes, and some parking tickets up there. And then you have a deeper console with the 12 volt. At the top, you got your home link down here. You have the button to turn on and off the dimming mirrors, and then you have the compass. You of course have your sunglass holder, and then you have your controls for the sunroof. It can tilt in the back, or it can slide, and then you just have a manual slide to close it. Very familiar, very nice back here. But let's hop in the back, let's see how we fit behind ourselves. Door panel looks great. Again, you're still gonna have to have just the 3-in-1 shampoo, soap, conditioner, and then probably only 1 bar of soap back there. Maybe Dr. Squash, maybe Dove, I don't know, whatever you prefer. Door panel, the pocket, the handle looks really good. There's a little bit of a lip for your fingers, and then you can fit at least $10 in quarters. Nothing on the door sill. I'm sure that's grippy so that you can reach up top if you were to have a rack or something involved. And then you have your seats. They are a combination of materials and they do feel really good. You can drop them. The Legacy doesn't recline like the Outback since you don't have the extra room of the hatch. But sitting behind herself, you got the double map pocket, baby. Apple Maps, paper maps, pamphlets. You have USB, USB, some ventilation, and then you have 2 cup holders in the armrest. And it does feel pretty stable. Let's hop around back, see what it looks like in the trunk. You do have the proximity key, so you can access the vehicle without even having to pull the key out of your pocket or to pull up the trunk. We're gonna do it this way today. Right here is where you could open it otherwise. And 15 cubic feet of storage room. Not too bad. Let's see what's hiding underneath the mat. We got some tools, which means if there's tools, there's a spare, but it's just a temporary spare. And you have enough room to hide some more stuff down there. Coming around to the passenger side, door panel, pretty much asymmetric to the other side, just opposing. Yeah, double map pocket. Our backpack trying to slip out of the seatbelt. I told you if you do that again, taking you straight home. But otherwise, it looks really good. And then if you are gonna ride shotgun, you get the traditional shotgun that this seat would designate you to have. Door panel pocket looks really good. Nothing on the speakers. Manual controls. Subaru is not gonna let you forget that it's a top safety pick with the airbags. The seats look really good on this one. You can see it's just under MSRP because that's what Twin Falls Subaru does on new vehicles. You got the storage tray, got the storage cubby, and then you got the lock and glove box. Not super deep, but you do have a 12 volt back there just like you would on the Outbacks. Time to jump around to the bonnet, see what's under it, where that 2.4 turbo resides. Pop the hood. And there it is. And doesn't that front end look great? You get the red accents because it's the Sport. And then starting with what we know, you got the battery, negative terminal, positive, brake fluid, washer fluid, coolant, top mount oil filter, 0W20 is what this puppy takes. You get the reversed hood scoop. It goes through the grill. Air flows to the intercooler to cool it down. You got the dipstick, the alternator on top, the belt cover so that you don't lose your fingers in that dirty engine bay. You got the ventilation through the filter, through the magical plumbing and piping to get it through the Spinny Boy turbo, through the throttle body to make that 260 horse, 277 torque. It's a pretty quick little car, as you'll see on the initial drive in the 0 to 60. But let's drop the hood. Before we hop back in the car, I want to point out the LEDs on Subarus are very bright. If you can swing it, I highly recommend you opt for that option. You got the dual stage camera for the Gen 3 eyesight. You have turn signal here, blind spot monitoring on the inside. You have the heads-up display. All right, let's get to our drive. Initial driving impressions of the Legacy Sport are that it's really good. It does feel quite sporty with that turbo and with Sport Plus turned on. Visibility is fantastic because it is the same front half as the Outback, which is based off of this platform. With several inches less ground clearance, road noise is reduced in this over the Outback, which is already better than the lower trim levels or the less expensive models, such as the Impreza, the Crosstrek, the WRX, things of that nature. Everything's right where you want it to be. The heated steering wheel feels great. The leather wrap is really nice in the hand. Armrests are comfortable. They look good. Center armrest equally. Shifter's right there where it belongs. Cup holders are fantastic. You can have your big gulp, your coffee, anything that's legal to put in there in this state. Otherwise, it just is a good layout. I do like that we have the updated HVAC system for 23. It's a little bit easier to use, less frustrating. The cabin feels great. With about 6 inches of ground clearance, it's still confidence inspiring with the all-wheel drive. I was just in the country driving around and it really feels quite good. I don't have any concerns as far as what can I do in this sedan. It's more capable than most, and with that 2.4 liter turbo, it's a sleeper. I'll show some clips of its acceleration around other vehicles right here. And that pulls really hard. We're gonna turn it into Sport Sharp, get up to speed. noticeably pulls a little bit better than the Outback. But anyways, overall, it's a great vehicle without having an updated sound system. The base one's speakers sound really good because it does have less wind noise than other competitors. It's a very quiet cab. It feels very refined in here and quite spacious for a sedan. If it wasn't 12 degrees out, we'd open up that sunroof, let the breeze in. Anyways, let's get to our private road. Let's do some 0 to 60 testing. And 0 to 60, traction controls off. We are in Sport Sharp mode. We'll do a little bit of a brake rev. Density altitude's only 800 feet today. That's about as low as it ever gets where I live. So the vehicle's only down on power like 1%. See what it can do. GPS graph will follow. True 0 to 60, 6.64 without the footed rollout. I'm sure it's in the 6.3 range. Felt very powerful. These are quite impressive, and really they're kind of a sleeper. Let's get to our final thoughts. Final thoughts of the Legacy Sport is it's a fantastic vehicle. Between the little whale tail on the back, the shark fin antenna, the turbo under the hood, the LEDs up front, it really offers a lot of good stuff for mid $30,000. It's a fantastic vehicle. It's one of Subaru's best. If I didn't need the larger Outback myself, I'd probably consider something like this, being basically a more refined WRX without all the attention-drawing features. If you like my video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. There's always more good stuff coming, and if you're interested in a vehicle like this, check out the link below. Otherwise, guys, I can't wait to see you on the next one. Take care.